Welcome, Amalga-Mania. This is Amalga-Forum, where we get to sit down with some of our members and get to know them a little bit better, find out some of the things they have going on, and learn a little bit about their fandom. Tonight, my guests are two very awesome people and substantial members in the group, and people I have grown very fond of over the last couple of years, and I've gotten to know through working with them on the web and also just conversation in the group and everything. Patrick and Ashes Rahall.
Hey guys.
Tell them a little bit about yourself, if you don't mind. Introduce yourself, as if they don't know who you are already.
Yeah, well, I would assume that some of the folks in the group know who we are because we're pretty. We do a lot of stuff in the group, but as Ian just mentioned, we are married.
We are?
Yes.
This is news to me.
Sometimes happily.
When did that happen?
Almost 6 years ago.
Oh, that was a while. Was I drunk?
You were in a coma.
Oh, that's why. Okay.
I only did it so I could get half your stuff.
I do have some really great stuff.
Well, after the 10-cent tour I got to see, I definitely can agree with that. There's definitely lots of nice stuff in there. So Throwdown Thursday Podcast.
Yeah, that's
what we do.
57 episodes, I think it's up to now.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
we just celebrated Throwdown Thursday's 3rd birthday, so we are proud parents of a toddler.
Well, congratulations.
Thank you. So Throwdown Thursday is kind of Patrick's brainchild. It was a concept that he came up with
like 4 years ago.
Yeah, probably like 4.5, 5 years ago at this point, and decided that he really wanted to run with it and turn it into a podcast. And what makes our podcast so different than other shows is that we talk about characters the same way other podcasts do, like film reviews and whatnot. So we talk about a diverse group of characters, which is why this group is so great. Everything from Game of Thrones to comic books to horror, sci-fi, you name it, we cover it. We like to kind of give you a history of the character, how the character relates to the universe around the character, how this character relates to other characters.
Pop culture influence.
But yeah, pop culture, personal influence and opinions as well. As we like to say, we cover the characters that you love and the characters that you love to hate. So new episodes drop every Thursday. So if you're interested, definitely tune in.
And we have some big announcements coming in the next week or so. Some big announcements.
Care to spill some of the beans and give us a little sneak peek and maybe nip slip something?
We can't say anything yet.
Okay.
But it's going to be great. It's going to be a great opportunity not only for the show, but for our listeners as well to kind of come along this ride with us. And we're going to pretty much guaranteed to get some great guests on the show. And
starting with this coming episode.
Yeah, starting with episode number 158. We have a very interesting and really talented, kind of like all around guest booked for episode 158.
Yeah, this is going to be a really good episode.
Yeah.
And I would be remiss if I did not mention that we won an award at the inaugural Scaricon Podcasting Awards. We won for Best Interview for our episode that we did, episode 101, Danger is Rising, where we interviewed almost the entire cast of the sci-fi movie Megalodon. And
I remember that. I remember hearing about that. I got to listen to parts of it, and I didn't get a chance to finish it. But I do remember you guys going to Scaricon. I do remember bits and pieces of the cast. You guys did a great job.
Thank you. Apparently, there were 150 shows that submitted episodes, and somehow we came out on top. We're not typically an interview show, but apparently we're pretty good at it.
So, I was actually, and I had said something online to you guys to that effect, that it was well-deserved, and I didn't really want to go too much into it or gush or anything, but I can definitely understand why you would have gotten that award specifically, because my interaction with you guys, when I came to Massachusetts and with Castle, was the Thanos, was that the Thanos? No, that was
Black Panther.
Pacific Rim Job. We did Pacific
Rim Job.
And Black Panther. You were on with Old Man Wade.
Yep. And I remember before we actually started doing he recorded Who Dares Wins battles and everything. And I remember sitting with you guys and Johnny Wolfenstein in Castle Wolfenstein, and it was like this nice little studio, and you guys had everything set up kind of perfect the way you like it and everything. And it was such a welcoming kind of feeling, and the conversation that went on, and the things that we discussed, and it just felt right. And I could definitely see how you guys would have gotten best interview. I felt very welcome, and honestly was inspired to start the Who Dares Wins recorded battles after the fact. Like, being on the show with you guys actually made me start those, just because of that feeling I got, that camaraderie, that kind of the conversation that we had. I just wanted to kind of do something similar to that, but in a recorded way on video camera and everything. And I wanted to thank you guys for that, and definitely congratulate you on a well-deserved award, because you guys definitely fit the bill for best interview. I felt welcome. I felt like I was having a lot of fun, and it didn't really feel like we were doing what we were doing. It just kind of was like hanging out with some like-minded individuals, and it was relaxed. You guys have such a great presence. Well deserved.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
And it was I was astonished when you drove up from where you are. I don't want to say where you're from, but you had a significant
Oh my
drive.
goodness.
Well,
we felt honored that you were willing to make that kind of drive.
Yeah,
for us.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. When the company's going to be good and you got a vibe, I've learned in life, not following that can destroy opportunities and great chances to do great things. So, it felt right. If something said, you need to link up with these people, and I did, and I am all the better for it. And I gained some friends and some great people.
Absolutely.
So it's awesome.
We got to have you on for the Thanos episode.
Yes, we did.
Yes.
A few months later.
My favorite opportunities to hang out with you guys. We had a great time on that cast. I actually still watch it sometimes and listen to it. Because we have the recorded edition of it on YouTube, but I still watch it on my TV sometimes when I'm flipping through YouTube channels, and just
amazing.
It's just a great time. Moving right along a little bit, I want to ask you guys a couple of questions. Where are you guys originally from?
Well, I'm originally from not too far from where you met me. I grew up in Worcester, Massachusetts, about an hour or so outside of Boston. And I lived in the vicinity most of my life. I lived in Worcester, Millbury, Shrewsbury, and Grafton now. Okay. Because
we're both from there.
So I'm from everywhere.
Okay.
I'm an Air Force brat. So I was born in Delaware. Cue the
Hi. I'm in Delaware.
the Wayne and Garth from Wayne's World. I've been all over the place, but my parents are from Massachusetts. So when my dad retired from the military, after going around to all of these really cool places, he decided that, hey, I want to move the family back up to Massachusetts. So that's how I got here.
Awesome. And how did you guys? Obviously, you guys are married. How did you guys meet?
Internet.
Yeah, online. OkCupid.com.
Or as I used to call it, OK Stupid.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, no, I didn't. So this was 10 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
And online dating has kind of become a different monster at this point. But back then it was still relatively fresh, relatively new. And I knew that I was honestly, like, my friends were doing it. So I was just kind of curious as to, how things worked and stuff. And they were using some of the paying sites. And I was like, well, there's no way in hell I'm going to pay for this kind of shit.
Yeah, I want to meet somebody, but I'm not paying to do it.
Well, no, like, if I actually meet someone, I don't want to meet someone who's willing to pay for to take it too seriously and like actually pay for this shit and stuff. So yeah, I actually messaged him. I saw his picture and his profile.
As you can see.
And
I did not have a full beard at that point.
Okay.
Yeah, I saw his picture and read his profile, and I was like, wow, this is kind of like refreshingly honest. I wasn't looking for anything. I wasn't looking for anything. I wasn't looking for anything serious. I know, right? Joke's on me. But he just seemed like somebody that I could hang out with. We had a lot of overlapping interests.
Mm-hmm.
So I messaged him, and it did not take him long to reply.
Mhm.
And so we messaged.
That's because I just sat there hitting refresh all day. All my free time, I would just be hitting refresh. Someone must like me.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, the reason why I asked that question is because I say this about you guys a lot, and it's true. You are one of my favorite couples, and the reason why is because you seem so. And I've been around a lot of different, married couples, couples that are dating, engaged, all of these different things. And with you guys, it's like if I didn't know you like how I do, I wouldn't know you were married. I would think you guys are just like really good friends, or like you guys just, happen to know each other very, very well. It doesn't seem like it's a relationship, but it's like it's very relaxed. And I just wanted to ask you a little something about those dynamics. How do you keep your relationship that way? How do you keep things so relaxed and kind of just, it seems like it's very fluid, and you guys work really well together, the way you guys kind of on the cast and everything, it's like the questions that you asked and the counterpoints and things, it's like you always are kind of there with each other, and but it's not that, you wear the same t-shirts kind of relationship, or always, it just doesn't seem that like that kind of thing. So how did you get to where you are in a relationship that you haven't had that kind of aura around you, where you work really well together and seem very relaxed?
I think from the beginning, we've always had this communication is key type of attitude. And, we've both been really brutally honest with each other from the get-go. And I think a lot of couples are afraid to be that way. They're afraid to, be themselves around each other. And I don't really know how it happened, but like from the beginning, we've just both been really comfortable with each other. And I kind of attribute that to the online dating aspect, because, we messaged each other through the site for a little bit. And then we switched to, remember when AOL Instant Messenger was a thing?
Yeah.
So we did that. And then as we got a little more comfortable with each other, we swapped phone numbers. And I think our first phone call lasted, 9.5 hours?
Something like that. We started talking around like 9 o'clock, and we got off the phone around 6 a.m.
And then our second phone conversation was, I think, like 5 or 5.5 hours.
Mm-hmm.
And after that, I was like, okay, I have to meet. And not a dead moment in between. It was just a constant, like, natural, just back and forth. Like, I'm going to tell you a story, you tell me a story, listening to music, like, oh, have you heard of this band? Have you heard this song? It was just so effortless and so natural. And so when we met, that just translated in person. There was a little bit of nervousness at first, but I mean, within a few minutes, it just all went away. And
everything went away.
Well,
I was gonna say the secret to our, ability to like still be, amicable and fun with each other is the fact that I have my own room.
I mean, that doesn't hurt.
Okay.
That definitely helps.
So I can go in there. If she's having a rough day and she's like, I don't want to be around anyone. It's like, yep, I got video games in the other room. I'm perfectly fine over there. You do what you
like
do.
I said,
You do mine. I'm going in there and I'll chill out.
Nice.
I mean, a mutual understanding of each other, not putting any heavy, unrealistic expectations on each other. Some people see their knight in shining armor and feel like they need to put them on a pedestal and create these expectations that are you can't live up to that. So I think in order to have a relationship that vibes really well and that works and that creates longevity is just honest communication.
So communication, your own room with your own video games. Wine, lots of wine. All right, we got it. That is the recipe. And again, like I said, and I just wanted to kind of, actually say this again. It does. Again, it comes across just that natural and just that effortless with someone being in your presence, as I have been. And it does. It really does come across that way. So whatever you guys are doing, keep doing it, because
That's
it
our
really
plan.
does come through in everything that you do, and you guys, definitely, like I said, are one of my favorite couples, and I love the way you guys are happy together, and I hope that
You're one of our favorite people, so that works.
I appreciate that, man. I appreciate that. So I really do hope you guys, keep it that way, and thank you for the, advice as far as for our listeners and everything. I hope they take it because, like I said, I could definitely see it between you two. Now, your fandoms. I've always pinned you guys as kind of a horror kind of movie, more so than anything else is your genre. If I had a question about good movies or horror, I would definitely come to either of you about that. Why don't you tell me a little something I don't know about your fandoms? What other fandoms do you like? I know, Patrick, you're into comic books, obviously, and you like kaiju and Godzilla and everything. But what are some of your other fandoms that I probably don't know about? Something that you like, that you enjoy?
I am a huge Harry Potter fan.
Get out of here.
I got into it really late.
Okay.
I was out one day and I was at a comic book store and they had some used books. So I'm like, all right, let me look. Oh, they have the first Harry Potter book for $3. I'm like,
okay.
What the hell? Even if I don't like it. So I went home later and I started reading it that night. And I went out about an hour into it. I put it down, went out, bought the next 3 books because I didn't want to have to stop. I actually, at the time the 7th book came out, I was working at a boarding school.
Okay.
And my shift was 8 a.m. to midnight. And I got the Friday that it came out at midnight off. And instead of going home and going to sleep because I had to be up and work 16 hours,
right.
I read until 4 a.m.
Nice.
Well, part of it was I wanted to also use that because a lot of the kids were getting their books around noon.
Okay.
And I was like, listen, if you're not going to listen to me, I'm going to tell you what happens, it's a story. I'm going to ruin shit for you. So you better. But yeah, Harry Potter is one of those that I really, really liked. I didn't think I was going to, but I really, really enjoyed it.
I had no idea you were a Harry Potter fan. As a matter of fact, I was talking to those Not So Super Dudes, another podcast that we're allied with, and he was telling me that I should see the movies. I should go check them out and everything because I've only seen the first 2, and I never really picked up past that. And he told me I should either pick up the books or pick up the movies, and that they're pretty interesting. Okay, all right, I definitely will.
There's stuff in the books, there's stuff that's this is just like a throwaway line, and it ends up being super important later on down the road, and it's weird with the movies. They don't translate. I mean, it's always how it is with books, but The Order of the Phoenix is the longest book and the shortest movie. So there's a lot of fluff in between that, again, you think it doesn't mean anything, but everything always means something.
Okay.
And I really like some of the names of the characters, even the place where they buy all their seedy underground, magic stuff is called Nocturne Alley, which,
nice.
nocturnally, it's associated with dark, there's a lot of Latin stuff, and it's a lot of fun.
Okay, I'm definitely going to check it out. Harry Potter is now officially on my list of things to watch and view. Yeah. Ashes, was one of your hidden fandoms or a fandom that's not as well known?
So I think a lot of my fandoms are pretty much out there. I think everyone knows that I'm a huge Game of Thrones fan because of Cersei Lannister. I love Drag Race and drag queens and RuPaul. I live for Barbie. But one that I think people might be a little surprised is I love 90s Nicktoons. And in particular, I mean, this one's not, it's more of a recent one, but SpongeBob SquarePants. I live for SpongeBob SquarePants.
Ah, an aristocrat.
Yeah,
yes.
Yeah.
Very fancy.
Yeah.
Well, that's awesome. See, I would have never known that about you. This is kind of the reason why I like to ask these questions, is just to, again, get to know you a little something about the fandoms. And who knows, maybe we might have some surprises with some of your favorite fandoms up in the future in the group for you guys. You never know. The more you know, right?
Right.
Well, I definitely appreciate you guys coming through and giving us the 411 on not only what you guys have. As a matter of fact, before we even get into that, do you guys have anything? I know you said you couldn't really give us too many spoilers on what's coming up next, but like, do you know what your next episode for Throwdown Thursday is going to be, or what we should be looking for, where to find you guys?
Yeah, we can talk about the next episode. The next episode, we are going to have actor and comedian Chad Ridgely on.
Okay.
You might know him from actually a couple movies we're going to be watching after we finish up with you. We're going to be watching Massacre in Aisle 12 and 6:66 p.m.
Wow. Okay.
We've also got links to his Indiegogo for his new movie based on true events called Murder Van, which he described as a cross between Saw and Split. So he's going to be on with us. He's actually, I don't want to give it away because I want you to listen to the episode. Absolutely. But he's got a role in an upcoming huge movie.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Huge movie that
Wow.
we have been anticipating for months. So
okay. I will definitely be tuned in myself to see what's going on because I'm getting into my horror phase. The summer's about to coming to a close. Last couple of months of the summer, and I'm gearing up for that fall. So believe me when I tell you, I will definitely be checking it out. And where can we find you guys on not only on Facebook obviously, but where else can we go to find the Throwdown Thursday podcast?
Stitcher, Spotify. We're on Spotify now. iTunes, Apple Podcasts, Google Play. We will have a website up and running in the next, I'd say, week or so.
Nice.
The near future.
The near future, yes. We're going to have a website up and running that'll have...
Already bought the domain.
Yep. Links to all of our social medias and where you can find the show and, past episodes.
Our YouTube channel. We do have a YouTube channel, Throwdown Thursday Podcast. I go on there sometimes. I drink whiskey and talk about what we got coming up.
Okay. They say you speak the truth when the whiskey's involved, right?
That's true. That's true.
Well, again, thank you guys so much for taking the time and coming through and letting us know a little something about the fandom and letting us know a little something about you guys. And it's always great hanging out and chatting with you guys. And I'm just like I said, I really enjoy having you guys here, and I can't wait till we get a chance to do this again. Hopefully, I can come through again and do another episode when I'm up, in New England, and I can stop. We could do it.
You want to talk some Harry Potter stuff? You want to talk some horror stuff?
Movies, I'm gonna come up and do that with you. That would probably be great. After I see the movies, I'm gonna come up with Dish a little bit and see what's what.
All right.
Yeah, you have an open invitation anytime you want. You're always welcome on the show.
Thank you so much, Ash.
You don't have to drive up. We can do Skype
we
as well.
We can Skype.
Okay, absolutely. Absolutely. Well, thank you guys for coming through. Please enjoy your movies for the rest of the night, and we'll talk to you soon.
All right,
Thank
take care,
you so
buddy.
much.